Hey y'all. I appreciate you all's patience. Can you hear me okay? I'm trying to figure out why the live was not working in my group. So sorry while I'm trying to get that together. It just does not want to connect today. Let me try one more thing. Looks like everything is good everywhere else. And if it doesn't work, hey, we're gonna keep it moving. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about that. Let me preheat the oven. I'm gonna preheat it to 315. I've been doing some testing with 315. I baked like that last time, and I really like that. So we're gonna bake it 315 today. I don't know. I'm having so much trouble. I have this trouble every time. It's just the thing with the group. Hey, oh, I'm so glad I gave you the confidence. Thank you. That makes me feel good. That makes me know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I appreciate when y'all give me feedback. So what I'm gonna do, I want to be. Let me go live on TikTok. I want to let me go live on TikTok. Okay, hey TikTok. I want to respect everybody's time who's already here. So I'm going to, if you're in my group, I'm sorry, I can't connect there for some reason. I'm going to share the live to the group because it just won't work how it's supposed to work. And then we'll just have to revisit that later. Hey, TikTok, I'm getting set up over here on my other channels. Had a little hiccup trying to get the broadcast to also stream in my group too, but you just got to do what you got to do. Okay, so it looks like we're going on Instagram, which I've never streamed on Instagram, so it's different, and on YouTube. Okay, I'm glad they're easy to follow. I appreciate that. I'm trying to make it simple. I'm a simple type of person, so I always feel like that's probably going to be helpful to other people. Okay, still don't want to do right over here. I'm going to wash my hands and then we're going to talk about this Black History Pound cake, y'all. I'm too excited. Okay, make sure I can see the I'm glad you, it does take a lot of work to keep up and work full time and everything else too. But one day that will be something that goes away. But I enjoy what I do, so that makes a difference. All right. So with this Black History pound cake, it's pretty much just a buttermilk pound cake base. All right. So we have, of course, our butter, which when you're trying to go live, everything just I had to help it come along. It was in the freezer. I thought 3 hours would be enough. It wasn't. So I had to help it come along. We have our eggs here. We're using 10 eggs for this recipe at room temperature. You need buttermilk, of course. That also should be at room temperature. We're using almond and vanilla. If you don't like almond, if you don't like vanilla, use the one that you like. And we're using baking powder and salt. And of course, we have our sugar and our flour. So we're going to start by measuring our ingredients. So let's see. You just turn it to the side. Got my mixer out already. Move this back. If you're baking this with me, I can't see y'all, but some people like to bake with me. Of course, you need an 18 cup bundt pan. This is the angel food pan. A lot of people ask that. Yes, it is the angel food pan, but it's about the biggest bunk pan that you'll find like this that has the volume for a mile high pound cake. Now, you can make this pound cake in just regular standard size, right? So you just adjust your amount of your food coloring, and also have a recipe on my site so you don't have to worry about trying to figure out what the measurements are, but you do want to adjust your food coloring. Hey, TikTok family. Okay. And then you also need 4 bowls because we have 4 different colors that we're using. We're using black, red, yellow, and green. All right. I would use deeper bowls in this, but this is what I had. So this is what I decided to use because it just makes it easier to have a little extra room for when you're mixing. I'm going to grab 4 spoons since we have 4 different colors. Okay, so we have 4 large tablespoons. All right, so we're going to start by measuring our flour. Let me move everything around. I would drop my baking spray. Hold on. I'm a baking spray girl, so that's what we're going to use. Matter of fact, let me move TikTok over here so I have more room. All right, so I'm using all-purpose flour. That's my flour of choice. Now, to sift or not to sift, that's your choice. I don't sift. I use pre-sifted flour. Even if I didn't, I would not sift because flour really doesn't need to be sifted like back in the day. It's not clumpy. It really just needs to be fluffed. So I don't sift. If you want to sift or okay, so I like a more dense pound cake. If you like a more softer crumb, then you may want to sift. Some people sift once, some people sift twice. Sift as much as you want to sift. So I'm using a 1/2 cup measurer. So we're gonna do this 8 times. You can use a cup. You see my I'm spilling. My little area right here is pretty narrow, so I only have so much room. Hold this down. I only have so much room to scoop my ingredients. So let me clean this up. I'm gonna have a clean workstation, y'all. I just can't do it. You can use cake flour. So cake flour is the type of flour that you use is preferential. Now you can't use like whole wheat or nothing like that, right? But if you use rather if you use all purpose or cake flour, that's your choice. All right, so this is how I measure my flour. I always got to pause for the cause for beginners. If you're a beginner, that's not how you measure your flour. Because really and technically, we should not be packing our flour. So the proper way to measure is to get a spoon and scoop if you're using this version. Now you can use a scale. I don't weigh my ingredients via scale, but you can measure them that way. Okay. Then you grab your knife and go like so. That's the proper way to measure your flour. All right, so we're gonna go back to the way I measure my flour. I did want to show y'all the correct way. So that's 2, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a lot of cake, so it takes a lot of flour. This is 18 cups of batter. 8. Okay. We have our flatter. We have our flour all ready to go. Okay. And we're gonna fluff our flour. Actually, we can wait a second because we're going to measure our and by fluff, I mean just like this, or you can get a whisk. Okay. Now we're gonna add our baking powder. From the little measures, our baking powder and our salt. And get those. Okay, so we're using half a teaspoon of baking powder. And we're going to use half a teaspoon of salt. And let me measure over here. You always want to measure your ingredients over something else so you don't over pour into your bowl. All right, so we have our salt. And we'll mix that together. Okay. And let me check on something real quick. Okay, cool. All right, so I think I'm gonna wait to measure out I'll measure my sugar, then I'm gonna wait to measure out my extracts. I'm gonna measure them while we're going through the process. Okay, so let's measure out our sugar. And again, 8. And I do level this off because it just doesn't, but by itself. 4, 5, 6, 7, 1/2. All right, so we have our 4 cups of sugar. Okay. Now we're getting ready to put all this together. And y'all let me know if y'all have any questions along the way. Here, let me go ahead and link to the recipe right now. Again, it probably didn't populate over there. But here we go. And I'm also going to link to the baking challenge as well. because there's a baking challenge. Okay, so I do a baking challenge every month on my website, whippalifebutter.com. There's a theme every month. This theme is Black History, so we're doing the Black History pound cake. 2 people are eligible to win, and the prize is a $50 gift card. So of course, we're almost to the end of the month, but you have till 11:59 Central Standard Time to participate. Okay, so let me switch gears to talk. But I'm gonna come back to y'all. Okay. Let me post about the challenge. Okay, can you see the links? Okay. Y'all give me a second, y'all. My TikTok is cutting up, and so I'm going to switch gears to go ahead and go live in the group. So it's gonna start in a second. Okay. If it'll go, it won't go there either. See if I can get back into TikTok and make this work. Okay. All right, TikTok. Got y'all working again. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna work on that here in a second. So we're gonna add our butter to our mixer. We're using 4 sticks of butter, so that's 2 cups. Okay. Now I always like to let my butter mix for a second or so before adding my sugar. And set this to the side. Okay, so we're gonna slowly add in our sugar. Butter is a little bit softer than I like, but it's okay. Slowly add that in, and we're gonna let this go for like maybe 5 minutes. I would tell y'all it's a look more than a time, where I feel like it's to the point where it's blended together. Let me move y'all over so y'all can see. Let me see if I can get this going while that's doing that. Let me ask y'all something. Have y'all ever made a multicolored pound cake before? Part of like I want to do the Black History pound cake because it's Black History Month, right? But like so many people ask, like, how do you make a multi-layered pound cake. It's like the same concept, right? You use whatever color you like. You use 2 colors, 3 colors, 4 colors, whatever works for you. I don't know what's going on with this little going live today. But what can go wrong will go wrong when you're trying to go live. You haven't yet. Hopefully you get a chance to. Grab my charger real quick. It's better on this platform. Okay, cool. Where were you before? Yeah, y'all let me know because I don't know what's going on when you're trying to connect today. I'm using my software and it's just acting crazy. On YouTube? Okay. Thank you for letting me know so I can work on that somehow, somewhere. You show y'all how the butter looks now. A little bit too soft. But what it should do, it should go to the sides of the bowl and then it should gather around the blender, but it was a little bit too warm, but that's all right. You done it a few times? Okay. It's not that hard. I've heard that you can whip your butter too long. I don't whip my butter. You're so welcome. I don't whip my butter for a really long time. Like some people whip their butter for like 10 minutes. I don't whip my butter that long. I just blend it until it needs to be blended. Make sure that it's no longer gritty and stuff like that. You're good. The color will change. Like it's hard for you to maybe see right now, but the color is changing with the butter. Bring out up to top. So it's becoming like a pale color. That's what you want. Okay, so now it's telling me that there's an issue with my little connection on Facebook. That's why I won't connect. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm taking the time to kind of look to try to figure out what's going on while the butter and everything is blending. Okay. I'm gonna scrape the sides of the bowl. It's nice and light and fluffy and lighter colored. And then we're gonna add our extract. So we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla and two teaspoons of almond. I appreciate y'all liking the live. TikTok family. I should have used my vanilla bean paste, but we're gonna go with vanilla extract. Have you ever used vanilla bean paste? It's great to add too. So vanilla and almond. Like I said, if you don't like almond or if you don't like vanilla, you can use the one of your choice or the two of your choice. All right, so we got that added. And that don't really need that much time to blend, right? Bring this up. All right, so we're gonna turn that back on and add our egg. So one at a time. Sometimes two fall in there, that's okay. Just until it's no longer like that bright yellow. You add your next egg. And I like to go ahead and crack my eggs ahead of time. Crack your eggs ahead of time. Get all your ingredients set out ahead of time, and it makes it way easier for when you get ready to start the mixing process. Yeah, does it create more dishes? Yeah, but you're less stressed when you're baking. Okay, we add our last egg. Okay. I'm just going to give it a good mix. Just on the edges. Not give it a good mix, but scrape down my edges. All right, and now we're gonna alternate our flour and our buttermilk. So you can do this in twos, threes, fours, however y'all want to do it. And I appreciate y'all's patience today. I'm a one-woman team trying to deal with whatever's going on with this live and stuff today, but we're gonna get it. Get a little water. So I like to start with my flour. Drop this back down. And we're gonna mix this just until combine. So just until combine means about like this. So I don't know if you all can see the batter over here. All right. So you can still see a couple of like little areas of flour, but it's not completely blended together. Let y'all see it. All right. That's when you want to add in your buttermilk. Let me give this a stir because it's been sitting, so it's settled a little bit. Oops, turn that off so I don't overmix it. All right. You can use a hand mixer or a stand mixer, right? And stop your mixer when you need to, no matter which one you're using. Okay. We're gonna do flour. We're gonna do the buttermilk one last time, and we're gonna end with our flour. Last of our buttermilk. Okay. And then the last of our flour. And I'm gonna move my fan up. Look, I'm getting hot. Okay, that's good. Just a second. Okay. Get the batter from here. It just takes practice. It does get easier. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And then you create your own flow. You create, especially when you have all your ingredients already measured out, it makes it a lot easier. And y'all give me just a minute. I'm sorry. Give me just a minute. I'm gonna be back in just a couple of minutes. right, I'm back. Sorry, y'all. I had to change. I was starting to feel flushed. I don't know what was going on, but we're back in business. I am so sorry about that. But I was like, I don't want to stop the vlog, but I feel like I'm about to, I don't know, pass out up in here. Don't want to do that. All right, so we good. Let me wash my hands. Okay, so we're done with our mixer. So let's go ahead and move our mixer out of the way. All right, we don't need our mixer again until we get ready to make our icing. Just clean our area right here and let me move some stuff around because we're getting ready to add our food coloring. Yeah, I feel so much better. Y'all see I got a little more prep in my step and everything. It don't usually happen, but you know, anything can happen at any time. All right, so we got all that cleaned up. Okay, so I still go ahead and mix because I don't completely mix. I don't use like the blade attachment for when I'm using my stand mixer. So I still have where I need to scrape the sides of my bowl and make sure the bottom is well mixed too. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. And like I said, you can make this in a smaller version. This is a buttermilk pound cake base. But you can, I have a regular size buttermilk pound cake recipe on my website, so you don't have to worry about doing the conversions by yourself, whippleitebutter.com. And you can use that recipe and just adjust your food colorings how you need to. I didn't wear my Whipple Light Butter apron today because it's Black History Month, so I want to wear my Black People's Pound Cakes apron, represent for my group and Black History Month. If you're not a part of my group, Black People's Pound Cakes, please come over and join. Everyone is welcome. All right, so I'm gonna mix that. I mix that just enough, right? Okay, so we're gonna get ready to divide our batter so we can add our food color. So what I do, my bowls are back here. So like I said, I recommend that you use larger bowls. These like cereal bowls, right? They are large enough, but I felt like it would have been better if I had a little bit more depth as far as when it came to mixing. So you know what, TikTok, let me see if I can prop y'all up. And then see, punch it downward a little bit. There we go. So we have our 4 bowls. Make sure everybody else can see over here too. All right, so we have our 4 bowls, and you want to make sure or try to separate your batter as equally as possible, right? So just take your time. You can use a scale and measure, or you can eyeball. Don't have to be perfect, right? But you want to try to get it as even as you can get it. You see how the bowls are already filling up pretty good, and I still have better to go. All right, so we got it divided out. Remove this. Okay. We have our 4 spoons that we already had laid out earlier, right? Go ahead and place them. So we're using black, green, red, and yellow. My black was not as black as I thought it should be, but when I did my icing and I made it a little bit darker, I liked it. So we're gonna play around today. So I started with that was like 3 drops. So I try to add enough to start with so I'm not overworking my batter. I was afraid that it would be over mixed and it wasn't the last time. So hopefully it's good. Y'all see what I mean by the depth of the bowl? I want it redder. 2, 3, 4. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the amount of food coloring you add depends on the deepness of the color that you want, right? The vibrance that you want. Add a touch more. All right. All right. So that's our red. And really, I would like it even redder, but I don't want to go crazy with adding the food coloring. All right. So let's do our yellow. And again, start with about 3 drops. But this cake takes a little time, right? So you don't want to bake this cake if you're in a hurry because it's going to take you some time to work up the batter and then get your colors going. All right, so that's a decent shade of yellow. And we have our green. You see how deep that green starts out? Yeah, it could be used for different holidays. Definitely. And for different theme cakes you want to do. But definitely, yeah. Black History Month, like you said, Kwanzaa, um, Juneteenth. All right, and so we got black is our last. I already know I need a lot of black because this black was like gray, but the more I used, it was more like black. And this is the Wilton set of colors that I'm using. You see how it's kind of like gray? They call it coal black. I ain't like that, but that's what I have. So, well, I actually bought some other colors. Let me see what that black looks like. Hold on. I don't want messing up the nut, but let me see what this black look like. It look like the same shade of black. Let's see. I look a little blacker, don't it? The cake will have a lot of gluten. It actually was fine. That's what I was worried about. I was like, I'm mixing the mess out of this cake. All right. So we got our colors, right? So let's go ahead and spray our pan. Let me grab my pastry brush so I can brush it. And actually, y'all may have seen this already, like in my videos. I'm gonna show y'all my little secret thing. Okay, helps me out. Lazy Susan. I love this thing. It makes everything so much easier. And spray the pan. Spray the hell out of it, right? Because we don't want anything to stick. And then it's a little foamy, so I just use my pastry brush and just brush up the areas. Make sure it's covered real well in the middle. You don't want to leave any area, right? Because you don't want your cake to stick. And again, if you didn't catch the beginning of my live, this is the 18 cup bundt pan. So like an Angel Food pan, whatever. Hey, I'm glad you could join me. Just check the comments and everything real quick before I go any further. Make sure y'all look good. Hey, Instagram. I never go live on Instagram, but this is the year, okay? Oh, Kimmy joining me from YouTube. I don't know what's going on with Facebook today, but I can't deal with that right now, right? Because I'm already on here with y'all. Okay. So we're gonna start with, I think I'm gonna do with the cake. What y'all think? I think I'm going to make the cake the same way that I made it for when I posted it. So I started with black. I think I did black, red, yellow, and green. So green kind of ended up dominating, but well, it dominated the top and black dominated the bottom. I think I'm gonna go with that. Facebook is tripping. Was that on my personal page or was that on my Whip a Lot Better page or was that the group? Look, I'm trying to stream everywhere. Yeah, I did black, red, yellow, green. Y'all let me know so I'm trying to figure out for later. I need my pastry brush, but let's go ahead and get started. And see, I got some areas of mist. Go ahead and toss the bowl with some more depth. Will be helpful. I'm gonna make sure I get as much as possible out of here. Yeah, I'm not an expert at this, right? I'm a home baker. And I like to keep it real. And I'm not talking about the baking part, y'all, because I'm baking pound cake. I'm talking about the food coloring part. So if anybody has like a suggestion of how to do it better or anything like that, please share. That's how we learn. We learn from each other, right? And I don't gatekeep. I hope that you all won't gatekeep so we can all learn and get better together. Okay, so that's a black, and I'm just gonna try to smooth it a little bit, right? And people are like, one question, like maybe the community can help everybody. Had complained about the colors bleeding and blending together. Now mine's like bled as far as like the black dominating, right? Where it dominated at. But like my colors were still defined. I didn't have an issue with my colors being defined. You couldn't get on my page. Okay. Maybe it's just something going on today. Because I did a test and everything was good. I didn't do a test today. But I did a test and everything was good. And I don't know what's going on. But that's just how it is when you're trying to do stuff. And things happen and you just got to pivot. That didn't get mixed. That yellow is popping, y'all, ain't it? Can y'all see how I'm laying it in here? So when I get ready to spread it, like I don't have like all those spaces that makes it hard to spread it. All right. So we got yellow. And try not to interrupt your color underneath, right? So you just kind of spread over the top. I'll push it a little bit here. I got my other color peeking out. All right. I'm gonna try to spread it. I'm just sitting my spoon here and moving the lazy Susan. So if you don't have a lazy Susan, of course you have to do kind of something like this, right? But whatever you gotta do. We have our red. Same thing. And just keep going. I'm not making a marble cake, so I'm not gonna swirl my colors. If you want to swirl your colors, then you can see how that works out for you. But I didn't do it with the food coloring. I've seen some swirl and they were absolutely beautiful. I mixed it in still. Child, I don't know what's going on today. I appreciate y'all joining me today. I was gonna go live a little bit later, but then when I go live later, it gets late for people. So I'm trying to find that good sweet spot as far as time. You know, we all in different time zones. I'm in Texas, so Central Time down here. All right, so we got the red. Same thing, right? All right, y'all ready for the finale? We add in the green. Thank you. I think the yellow is so pretty. And I'm gonna play around. You know what, y'all? I'm gonna keep it 100. I really don't like baking with food coloring. I did this for Black History Month, right? It's just not my thing. Like, I like the natural essence of the cake without all of that. I will do the cocoa powder to change the color and stuff. Maybe it's something that like I will start to embrace a little bit more. But I just really not a food coloring person. I do it with red velvet because it's red velvet, and you know. But Black History Month had to represent. Y'all let me know. Y'all like food coloring? I think it's pretty, right? I think it's pretty on the cake. But I like my cake natural. We might let me leave that alone. And people asked about natural food colorings. Now, I haven't used it, but there are vegan food colorings. Don't know what they're made from, don't know anything about it, you know, just sharing the information. This is gel food coloring that I use. I've used liquid before, but I like gel better. I think it kind of just like blends up in the batter a little bit better. Hope y'all can hear me over all this clacking. It blends up in the batter a little bit better. To me, the color pops a little bit more. I like the gel. All right, so here we go with the green. Come on now, don't blend with my green red. Like I said, do your best to stay on top of your color so it's not blending. You know, smooth. Ooh, red kind of want to come through. No, don't do it. Gonna smooth the top. You want to make it as even as possible, right? Because pound cakes down. And I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. So my pastry brush. All right. Then I'm gonna move this because we're gonna do our little tap. Get out any air bubbles. Now I'm gonna be light and I'm gonna go straight up. Look at me. Okay, I'm gonna get that in a second. I'm gonna go straight up and straight down, and I'm gonna try to like have some real um I'm just gonna do it like just a real strong tap and not just tap 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 because we had these layered colors. So like that. Because I normally I would go like right, but I'm not. All right, so we're baking this. All right, I want to make sure I had it right. At 315 degrees, and this is my high pound cake, so it takes a little bit longer to bake than a regular pound cake. So about an hour and a half, but do your toothpick test or use skewers. I like toothpicks because they're smaller, they'll leave as big a hole in your cake when you're testing to make sure that your cake is done. If it is not done in an hour and a half, it's just not done in an hour and a half. I've baked my pound cake for my mile highs. I baked my pound cake for 2 hours before. It just wasn't done. I don't know what was going on. It wasn't getting done that day. And so, especially with a higher volume of cake, you need that. Now you see how much room, this is a big pan, and you see how much room is left from the top of the pan because you want plenty of room for your cake to rise. That can cause you to have like those spillover edges where it comes out your pan kind of weird and all that type of stuff like that. So we're gonna bake this cake. Yeah, the gel does give it a more intense color. This is a buttermilk pound cake, and I'll post. Let me wash my hands. I'll post the recipe in the comments one more time for y'all. Okay, so I'll post this cake when it's done, but of course it's gonna take so long. We're not gonna stay on live and wait for it to get done. And I think I may glaze it. We'll see what I decide to do with it. So you're gonna bake this cake for an hour and 25 minutes. So when you do your glaze, you do the same process. You do 4 different colors. If you don't want to do 4 different colors, then don't do 4 different colors. Do however many you want. But if you're going to do 4 different colors, you want to even it in 4 different bowls. I wanted more black, so I added more black glaze to my black glaze, but I added more glaze so I can have more black glaze. Okay. This is a buttermilk pound cake. Now this is a mile high. So I'm gonna post the recipe. This is a mile high pound cake. You do not have to make it mile high version. You can make a smaller version of the pound cake if you like. You can make whatever size that you like. And I have a recipe for that on my website. But I wanted to do my high version because like it's such a high volume of cake, so I can have like really room to really for those colors to pop out right. It can still pop up on a smaller cake, but that was just my thought process when I was doing the mile high thing. And I'm on a mile high roll these days. So also, don't miss out. February is not over yet. Okay, let me post that. Pound cake baking challenges. I do them every month on my website, whipitlightbutter.com. Whipitlightbutter.com. You can go to my website and you can get all of my pound cake recipes for free. I also have some other kind of recipes on there, but pound cakes is what I do these days. So whipitlightbutter.com, you can get all my pound cake recipes and you can catch my pound cake baking challenges I post every month. You still have time to participate in February. 2 winners will win an Amazon gift card, $50. I'm not playing. I'm not playing with nobody's time. I'm really giving away $50. Had 2 winners that won last month. All right. I'm going to pick 2 winners again this month. All you have to do this month, but different challenge every month, right? Is follow the challenge rules. So this month, bake the Black History pound cake, or there's 2 different alternatives. Now, the one was red velvet. Valentine's Day is over, so you may not want to make the red velvet, but it's an option. And also the Mile High dark chocolate pound cake. Now, if you want to order the dark cocoa, you can find it in my Amazon store, and it's linked in the recipe. Or the dark cocoa, y'all, it tastes like brownie. It makes your pound cake taste so good. I recommend you using it. It is black. It will make your cake black. People have used others in the grocery store, and their cake has not been as black. No food coloring, and that cake is so dark. Those are the two alternatives this month. I just did that because we had the holidays and just, somebody didn't want to dealing with the food coloring. I understand, we all at different baking levels. So last month was lemon pound cake. Y'all really enjoyed that. Appreciate y'all who participated in that. This month is a Black History pound cake with two alternatives. And next month, which is Saturday, right, is citrus season. So it'll be citrus themed. So y'all look out for that challenge. So if you sign up on my newsletter, I send an email out. You can find that. Go to my website, whipalikebutter.com. At the top, or I think on mobile, you hit the hamburger. You'll see subscribe, and you can subscribe to my newsletter. And anytime I post something, you don't have to worry about the algorithm as far as challenges and new recipes. Then you can get the new recipes. All right. And then, like I said, so you don't miss a challenge. What else? Did I miss anything else? Did y'all have any more questions about this recipe? I'm gonna put this in the oven, and y'all can let me know if y'all have any more questions before I finish the live. Yeah, I do use an oven thermometer, and I do bake in the middle of my oven. So you can have so you're not baking. Let me move you up at TikTok. You're not baking in the area of the oven that's too hot. You're not baking in the area of the oven that's too cool. You can bake more than 1 pound cake at a time, but I don't. But if you're baking just 1 pound cake, bake in the middle of your oven. Let me double check. If y'all don't have any other questions, let me see. Okay, so I missed some things. I use 10 eggs in this batter. So a Mile High pound cake, for those who are unfamiliar with it. At its base is 4 cups of flour, it's 4 cups of sugar, it's 4 sticks of butter, and it's 10 eggs. Is it a lot? Yeah, but y'all, it's delicious, honey. And if you have a lot of people to feed, it's perfect for that. Or if you just, want to be like me, you want to, have a lot of pound cake, um, I can share a little bit and I save a little bit and I put some in my freezer. If you've never frozen a pound cake, I have a guide also on my website under baking tips on how to freeze a pound cake. Let me see. It should still be put on TikTok. You can find the recipe at whipalikebutter.com. But let me try. I don't usually go live on TikTok. So let me see how I could post it here. Whipalikebutter.com. And I'm going to do better. I'm going to get to know TikTok. Here we are. Okay, it didn't save it when I copied it earlier. But I'm going to put my website here. So you can just click over to it, whipalikebutter.com. And it's on my first page. And you can find the recipe. And then you can also find information for the baking challenge. Hey, from the Nolia. You know what? I just posted a week before last, but I posted it again yesterday on Facebook YouTube Shorts, my Mardi Gras pound cake. Now that was a lot of fun to me. So the Mardi Gras has a cinnamon roll type base, right? The king cake. So I made a Sakatumi cake and I put the sand and sugar on top. Y'all, that was a lot of fun to make. And the sand and sugar was something different. It was a different texture. Okay, if you never used vanilla bean paste, yeah, it costs a few dollars, but it's a few dollars is worth it. You definitely want to try the vanilla bean paste. It's different. To me, it's a deeper flavor than just like regular vanilla extract. But I like good vanilla extract. I like Watkins. Watkins is a good brand. Atkins Adams is a good brand. Okay, we talked about the 10 eggs. How many slices do you get? Okay, so it depends on how you slice them. So for me, I'm greedy. So I say like, I don't know, maybe 25, 30. So it just depends on how thin you slice your cake. Feeds a lot of people. I did 2 Black History cakes for church, both fed over 60 people. Yeah, if you slice them thin enough, you definitely can. I don't sell pound cakes. I thought about it. I thought about just like selling halves because I bake for content for my website and my YouTube channel. So I don't bake pound cakes for people, and I work, and it just be too much to keep up with right now. But I show you how to do it and recipes. I know people won't like, no, no, I need you to bake it for me, but I don't do that right now. I would love to one day though. They're big slices, yeah. But a mile high pound cake, look, the slices come out. It looks like a lot on screen. About that big. So they're good, they're a good slice of cake. Okay, so you want to know how I measure my flour in the cups. So the proper way to measure is to take your measuring cup. I got food coloring on my hand. That's okay. Take your measuring cup and spoon your flour into your measure, right? And then take a knife and level the top of it. That's not how I measure, but that is the proper way to measure, and that's how you should measure. If you go to my website and go to the search bar and search for butter vanilla pound cake, that's just really a plain pound cake recipe, y'all. And I did that because not everybody likes plain, but it's basic. If you just never have baked a pound cake or you're unfamiliar with baking, and I go through how to bake a pound cake in real time. So including how I measure my ingredients. So just like we did today, from start to finish, but all the way through to when that cake is done. It has no glaze because, like I said, it's just like real basic beginner. That's a good place to start. Okay. Y'all have any more questions? All right. Where'd I buy my Hub cake pan? I bought my cake pan from Amazon, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop a link to my store. I have a lot of suggested items in my store, stuff that I like, stuff that I bake with, other products that people have recommended. If you buy something from my Amazon store, even if it's not in my store, if you click through my store to buy something that you like, I get credit for it. So that's a way to support me for free. So I greatly appreciate that. You know what I mean? So it keeps me, I can keep the content going and like get even more and more resources, like maybe a team one day to help me in here, so I'm not a one woman team and like with these little live issues. So I'm not trying to do all of that and go live and bake with y'all at the same time. Because we're trying to get better and better. Like we're having the challenges. Oh, I'm glad that I thought about that. So I've been thinking about something. So I want to do some recipe testing. And I was thinking that I wanted you all to come along with me to do the testing. Want to know what you think about it. So what I would do is like, for example, a cream cheese pound cake, try it with salted butter and unsalted butter, and then see what the difference are. So of course we would only do like one version of it each live, and it would be kind of like a series. And then like cream cheese pound cake, and we use cake flour. and we use all-purpose flour, and we see the differences, right? And then do it again where we do like half all-purpose and half cake flour, and we see how that is. What y'all think about that? I think that'll be fun. It's something I want to do and I haven't really had time to do, but it would be better if, of course it's content, right? But it would be better if we did it together and then like I get y'all's opinions on what y'all think. And also maybe like different baking temperatures and stuff like that. Maybe shortening with butter. I like baking with shortening. Delicious, y'all. Adds that extra bit of moisture in the cake. I thought it'd be something fun we could do together. You down? Okay. I think maybe I was gonna say next month. Next week, right? Maybe we can start doing that next month because life is settling down a little bit. Thank you for everybody who expressed your condolences. So I can get back into more of a schedule. So I let y'all know about the live ahead of time. I really want to let y'all know about the live an hour before. I try to if I can to let everybody know. I'm on my Facebook page, Ashley Frederick. I have my Whip It Like Butter page. I have my group Black People's Pound Cakes. I have my YouTube channel, Whip It Like Butter, and I have TikTok, Whip It Like Butter. So that's a lot of channels and my newsletter. So it's a lot of areas to keep up with. I'm in Texas. So I'm gonna try to get better at that. But I think that'll definitely be fun. And I'll do like this time. I'll give y'all the recipe. So I have those recipes on my website already. But I'll give y'all the recipe and what we're going to do beforehand if that's what y'all want to try. And if y'all don't want to, y'all know y'all can watch and do it on your own time or whatever. It's 10 eggs in the cake, love. You can do it on your own time. But I think that'll be cool. And then maybe like put the thank you, Kamita. I hope I said your name right. Then maybe like I like to freeze pound cake and eat it later. So good. Never ain't tried it. It's great like that. Um, Almost like this first day. Put it in the freezer and maybe it depends on how long this experiment goes. Put it in the freezer and then come back. And then maybe I'm just thinking, lay all the pound cake out, you know how much we have, and then talk about do like a little tasting. So like this one with the salted butter, talk about what that tastes like versus this one with the unsalted butter, this one with the cake flour versus that one with the all-purpose flour, and then we can have a discussion about textures and all that type of stuff too. So that could really just get into like lengthy sifted versus unsifted. I don't think I want to go that deep, but definitely temperatures, flour, and the types of butter. I want to test the differences. So more to come about that. I think I would just do a regular recipe because we're testing. So I don't want to just do too high volume. What you think? I think just like a regular size pound cake will be cool for this experiment. What do y'all think? Yes, when I use vanilla bean paste, it'll use the same measurements as vanilla extract. And also, if I use emulsions, it's the same. All right, so I know somebody's going to ask about the price of eggs. So this is what I'm going to say. Because like with this cake, it was 10 eggs. Unfortunately, I'm thankful to be able to afford the eggs. Y'all, we're not going to operate in the spirit of lack. There's always something going on, whether if it's gas prices or anything else, and we make time for money for what we want to make time for. Nobody complains when they buy the Starbucks coffee. Now, I'm not talking about people who really don't have it because some of us really don't have it, right? And if you don't have it, then you bake when you're able to. A pound cake is not a necessity. You can go buy a pound cake for cheaper, or you can go buy a different dessert until you're able. Please do not stress out on being able to buy a pound cake. But we are not going to operate in the spirit of lack. There's always something going on. If it's not meat, it's gas, or it's electricity, or it's something else. So I'm not going to focus on the price of eggs. I'm thankful that they are still available for us to buy, at least in Texas, at least where I live, because there are some people and where they live, they cannot buy eggs. They're just not available at all. And then some people are at a limit of two. And I know that that's hurting people that are operating in business. But just like people go to work, when gas is sky high, it affects people that are driving to work every day. At least in business, you can adjust your prices and hopefully your customers are understanding and you can move forward. But y'all, this too shall pass. It will pass. There's always something, and all we can do is deal with it the best that we can and pivot. That's good in New York. But and try to do the best that you. I was gonna tell me my live's gonna end on TikTok in 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, just do the best that you can. Try to, I eat inside all week so I can play around, and have what I want to eat on the weekend. There's always a budget, just do the best that you can. I buy my butter in bulk. I buy it at Sam's, so it's a little bit cheaper. I buy my flour at Sam's. I do things like that, so it's a little bit easier and I have higher volume. So you make time for what you want to make time for. It's like any other sport, it requires investment, which is time equity and a lot of times money equity. All right. Okay. We like the idea of a regular pound cake. All right. So I told y'all where y'all can find me. TikTok, I'm gonna get better. So I can link my link tree next time. WhipperLikeButter.com, Whipper Butter on all channels. And also you can find me on Facebook at Ashley Frederick. Also in my Black People's Pound Cake group that everybody's welcome to join. So if you want to come, you have a question or anything there. And also you can join my newsletter so you can keep up with all my content and when I'm going live again. Yeah, and I appreciate you. I wouldn't say it like that. It's just been a big concern. So since you did bring it up, I was like, let me try to be encouraging and talk to people like that because a lot of people have really been distraught about it. A lot of people haven't been able to locate eggs, and a lot of people have been concerned about being able to afford it. But I appreciate you. All right. I don't think I missed any other questions. Okay. Oh, thank you so much for buying the cake cover. I'm sorry if I missed anybody's comment. I'll go through the comments when I get off a live, but I appreciate y'all. I'm going to try to do this again in the next 2 weeks. So I'll make a post letting you all know that I'm going to go live again and what I'm going to bake. And so I'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day and a great week. Bye.